Hello everybody, Glitch Reaper here, and if you're seeing this, it is because I was unable to do a proper logon because I had to edit something. So, in case you're seeing this, please enjoy the rest of whatever episode this is. Thank you! Can I just do it by the block? Do I have enough for a block of mana steel right now? Yes, I do. Okay, beautiful. Have enough for a whole block. Sweet. Okay, so... do I even have to fuel those when... Well, I will be, because I'm going to have to... Oh, wait. I think whenever it's adjacent to the pool, I can just aim it right at it. And it'll actually draw from the pool. Or at least it used to. Okay. Now... I'll also need, of course, another mana pearl. It's a good thing I accumulated a boatload of EMC, because I will need to dissipate a good portion of it for this. I think it's 5 mana steel. And the mana pearl. Yes, it is. Wow, that was quick. Okay, so toss that on top, give it a whack with the wand. Okay, have my rune. Rosa Arcana, you're a beautiful flower, but I need to do things to get you. Okay. Now what colors were ye to get in there? Because I will stop after I get my Rosa Arcana, because I will need to do some stuff. At least now I know I have to get a bit higher to get my things. Okay, so it'll be 2 pink, 2 purple, and a lime, as well as that. Oh, and you go in colors. Do I not have a lime flower? Do I not have a lime flower? Okay, I have a different technique. It's called Give Me a Mushroom and Lime Dye, which I may have to pop out of nowhere. I will. I will have to pop that out of Scenic Nowhere. I need a charcoal here, please. So I'm going to have to do the old insta-smelt trick, because apparently I don't even have the lime dye. Yep. Back in there. This is just such an easy use of Philosopher's Stone that comes in so easy. Okay, I need the bone meal first, because I also need to apparently get that converted into a dye. You go all that way. I already had cactus green in there? Fine. The lime is not... Hello. There we go. See, is this something I can do with brown mushroom, or do I have to do it with... Okay. I have that in case I need it later. Because it's going to be 2 pink, 2 purple, a lime, and the rune. Two pink, 2 purple, a lime, the rune, and some seeds. For the Rosa Arcana. One of my favorite generating flora. That thing really does just come in so handy. And I think most of them have an EMC of only 16 because apparently they're now universally just considered flowers now when it comes to Project E. I don't know if that's something Project E added in, or if Vasky's like, yeah, once you get them, why not? Just consider them, or dictionary converted with flowers. Okay, so... I know this one can be, like, super fast, so I have to be very careful about it. Yeah, it had a little excess that it pulled from the pool. Okay, and now you're going to have a lot of excess because you're going to be pulling from me. So, this is going to go just positively nuts. Looks like it can handle it now. I just have to be careful about maxing out a little bit. Because again, having closer proximity kind of helps out. It's going to be a very full mana pool. But yeah, I think this is kind of a good way to say I'm going to have just absolutely plenty. I don't know if this will add up to be enough for Terrasteel, but apparently I do need to get to the Alfheim before that whole thing. So I may need to work on my runes and get my way to Terrasteel eventually and stuff like that, because that's always the way into Elven knowledge gains, and then I can be able to get some things that's going to be much better for me automating my mana production. Because there's a few things I can do that will put stuff together. It'll be kind of awesome. But I need to be able to get to some particular flowers, especially the Kikamuras, because it is perfectly fine eating cake all the time. And it absolutely loves it. But to get it, you have to have apparently an Elven knowledge gain. Because... let's see here, because I'm not seeing it in this chapter, now that we're going by actual chapters, so yeah, I'm going to have to get that with Terrasteel, because Elven knowledge gain, so there's that. But hey, now I know where it is, because its position has been kind of changed more than once over time, so kind of got to look it up every time. And apparently, I think Vasky decided to stably keep it as an Elven knowledge thing. So now I know where to get it. But I do have an interesting plan. I plan to be able to auto-create cake have the cake delivered by rats to a stable position, and when they do, then the Kikameras will be able to eat said cake and keep producing mana. There may be some other things they can deliver, like certain items to some other rather hungry flowers, and be able to automate it that way. So I'm definitely wanting to plan around rats more, because I know that they can do a lot of good things for me. So it's going to be a thing. It's going to be a big, big thing. For now, I think I'm going to be good for a while. There is stuff over there just waiting for me. But yeah, things happened to me while I was off screen. It also included some other things that were intense. So while I'm powering myself up and seeing if I can get a good amount out of here, I can go ahead and tell a few stories real quick. But I was trying to get an archaeologist hat by hunting around in the jungles nearby, especially like my big jungle that's close to my temple, and I found out there has been a red dragon, darn lips, there's been a red dragon hanging out around there the whole time that I just hadn't gone deep enough in the jungle to fight yet, and then it comes at me out of nowhere. And because of the obstruction of the trees and stuff, I was able to, he wasn't able to fly very well, so he kind of got himself stuck, and he was still able to attack me, but I got pretty good armor. And the thing is, I was able to defeat him pretty quickly because of my samurai sword. So thanks Shin Yamato for being awesome. And so I have beat a red dragon. A fire dragon. And I also had some other events going around, including, well, there was a Scarlet Epion, and if you beat a Scarlet Epion, you get an Aberrant Soul Stone, which is basically gives you a aberration as a pet or a mount. And I got a grill, which is kind of interesting because previously to that, like right before that happened, I had the Aberrant Assimilation event where a bunch of aberrations come out, including Grell. I didn't actually manage to get any at the time, and they kind of knocked me out of Ratlantis, because I was in Ratlantis whenever that happened, and they kind of knocked me out of there. Because I wasn't exactly in the best position to fight off all the aberrations. But then later, whenever I was hanging out in just the regular jungles looking for an archaeologist hat, I was also going by, because there's nearby plains and things, and that's where I fought the Scarlet Epion. So it came out. It was attacking some cows. I just ambushed it from behind, full samurai, and its main way of attacking is to use its projectile, which is the blood leech charges, which apparently are easily deflected by samurai swords from slash blades. So that made things pretty easy, actually. So that really helped. And so that happened off screen. I'm still going to be looking for those archaeologist hats. Apparently you're supposed to kind of find them from skeletons in jungles or from husks. I'm not sure if husks in jungles would give you an even better chance. So I'm kind of doing some undead hunting, and because of that I also got a lot of soul shards from using my scythe. Because, hey, see the undead, use your scythe, harvest some soul shards. So I'm soon going to be able to do a lot of the stuff that required that in Edolan. So that's going to be really cool and exciting, is being able to do a lot of the Edolan stuff that requires all the soul shards. Because it's pretty easy for me to harvest them using the scythe. It really is just like a better way. So that's going to be a total thing. And maybe, just maybe, I might think of doing like just kind of news while I'm doing this here. But I do have more mob battle plans, speaking of that part of things. And I've been kind of waiting for the Warden, because I'd like to see what it does against all the heavy-powered mobs from vanilla. It'd be interesting also to see how many of certain things can you use to defeat the Warden. Like, if you wanted to use an army of iron golems, would that be something you could do, and how many would it take? If you wanted to use, like, wither bombing to take it out, how many would it take? Because I am curious about that. Because I'm a mob battler. It's what I do. It's something I would definitely just keep doing there. It's just, it's kind of interesting to think of the warden with all this. And that comes up to another thing that I'd kind of like to ponder there. And that's in a whole other mob category. Because it's kind of in a category that hasn't been discussed too terribly much in Minecraft. And that it's basically a terror unit. If anybody's familiar with, like, the XCOM series, they kind of call out what a terror unit is. That it's kind of a super powerful creature that basically serves the will of a faction or a group of some kind. And it's not necessarily going to be its smartest. Like, it's usually something that's usually has, like, others considered the leader, but it's there to basically just cause destruction and chaos. And to totally terrorize the players. And that's basically what the Warden is. It is a terror unit. And we've actually already kind of seen a few in Minecraft in vanilla. Because if you think about it, things that serve the factions and are their elites without being, you know, considered like really leading them, but just kind of being like their big war group. Like only showing up in certain circumstances, that's kind of a thing. And for the Warden, it would be the Skulk itself. For Villagers, their terror unit would basically be, well, the Ravagers, basically reserved for attacking during raids. For Villagers and players, it's actually Iron Golems, if you think about it. Because, like, Villagers summon them, and players can create them. And they kind of serve as powerful war machines for you. And so there's kind of that thing where you do have terror units showing up, and you can also kind of say that that's also something you can kind of class the newer Piglin Brutes as. I mean, they're also kind of keeper types, so they're keeping locations and defending their treasure and stuff like that, but they're also kind of the terror units of Piglins. Kind of reserved to mainly guard their bastions. But Wardens, they're the terror unit of the Skulk. And terror units always have humongous stats. Like, they may be stronger than even things considered bosses. And kind of like how I consider elites. It's something that just spawns around normally. It's not like on special reserve or for special events or something like that. But it can also like be powerful enough to where it could probably even beat bosses or mini bosses, things like that. Or other things that's kind of considered big time worth it. And that's where I'm thinking that you can consider the Warden to be a terror unit. And so I've just kind of got this view where when it comes in, it's going to be really cool doing things with it. And considering it the terror unit of the Skulk itself, because the Skulk is a living force. And it's also an interesting thing, I'm thinking of the Skulk so much because, I mean, right now this series is Shadows of Thaumaturgy. It's about things that kind of used to go with Thaumaturgy, things recreating the style without Thaumcraft actually being here yet. And might I add, another thing about Thaumcraft is it is still there. It's just been changed ownership. Currently, the same team that does the Thermal series is kind of has guardianship of Thaumcraft. So if you're wondering who's got it now, it's the people who do Thermal Expansion and Thermal Foundation and other Thermal series mods. I guess now they have Thaumcraft, so lots of things that start with TH. Mostly with Thermal, but I mean, what are they going to rename Thaumcraft to? Thermal Magic? I don't think they're going to do that exactly. I think they're going to maintain the name as a tradition. But when you think about it, a lot of things are still going to have inspiration from Thaumcraft, and Vanilla has done that a lot over time. Things that were kind of inspired by Thaumcraft and kind of took a bit of its style, even if they didn't do things exactly the same, because they're always going to have that vanilla twist. And one of those things is how the Skulk kind of represents the taint, if you're thinking about it, and how it can spread in particular ways, but there's also ways of fighting it. So there will be ways of just ensuring that the tainted nature of the skulk doesn't spread. Now, there's also the question of, is it ender-based or not? Because some people are debating that. And I'm wondering that too. Does it have a connection with the end or other dimensions in general? So one thing I can think of that new frame block doing is becoming a universal portal that players could build to wherever, including across dimensions. Because that would be awesome, do-it-yourself portals as part of vanilla itself. I mean, they kind of did a bit of that on one of the April Fool's snapshots, the Infinite one, where you could create custom worlds based on what you wrote in a book and toss it into a portal. That was a really cool feature. If they brought that back only with those new frame blocks that they're going to have in the Deep Dark Cities, or the Ancient Cities, I should also say, then maybe, just maybe, they could be used to make those kind of portals instead. Like, where it's not like ones that you connect to locations specifically, but instead ones that you make custom dimensions with, like with the Infinite Snapshot, because a lot of people loved how that worked. The ability to make kind of Mistcraft-style dimensions with, like, different properties. Maybe or maybe not predictable ones based on what you write in the book. I mean, that would be interesting for people to make a Wikipedia entry of stuff that was basically logs that you could manipulate the properties of a custom dimension with by having a very particular set of words in the book, because it is its own kind of special magic, is doing these custom dimensions. Ah, I see you, Squid. I don't think I can hit anything passive with this sword. I think it's got an automatic thing there. But this sword, however, is normal if I can hit the squid. Just count me as just sunk to the bottom. This thing does admittedly have quite a reserve. Yeah, I should just sit here and let it take a lot of it for a while. It'll dissipate over time with that. In fact, well, I'll just let it do that while I toss in a few squid sacks. There you go, squid ink sacks. Just go in there. But yeah, I mean, just think of how much it's inspired by Thaumcraft and other things too. I would like to see yet more kind of inspired by Thaumcraft, but also some other previous mods. Like we have King Bee Dogs, guy who did the Ether, working for Mojang now. So I'm really thinking that, I mean, Thaumcraft popularized accessories in Minecraft, but Ether started it. So King Bee Dogs, he started whole accessories in Minecraft. And I'm thinking that accessories in Minecraft would be really cool if they were what you were hunting for in the Deep Dark. Like, that would be interesting motivation for people to go into it, is saying, well, I want some really cool accessories, but you can't craft them, you can't trade for them. They're literally only in the Deep Dark. I've got to sneak past the Warden, which is an absolute terror unit, and it's going to have, like, absurd stats. But, as a mob battler, I'm thinking, okay, maybe a player can't take it down, but maybe a few withers could. So, I mean, when in doubt, think indirectly. Toss a boss at it. Yeah, you just toss a boss, you know. Just toss a boss at it. So that's something you can totally do. You just toss a boss at it. There we go. This might be where I don't have to get away from the flower now, where I can just kind of leave it going. But yeah, you kind of see my thing there. I'm wondering, if we go all out with the Warden, just what are our rewards going to be? And another thing that I'd like to kind of hint out of things that I'm just how I'm thinking of things, is when it comes to bosses and mini-bosses, and like other types of mobs of tremendous power, like, oh, say, elites, terror units, etc., well, you gotta wonder, is their loot worth it for their power level? And the Warden, it won't drop anything directly. It'll be about finding loot in the chest. But that's still basically loot you're getting for dealing with the Warden. So it's going to have to be some awesome loot. And so I'm thinking it has to be something like beyond Wither level. And I have, in fact, produced more than half a mana pool. I can make Terrasteel now. I just need to also produce enough runes for it. So, okay. So I guess next time I will be doing lots of rune work, getting the portal set up, and seeing if I can kind of zip through and get a bit of my mob-based automation set up for various things, because there's more than one way I could do that. But it's going to take a lot of rune work to get there, so there's that. But that was pretty crazy. So, but you know what I mean, like, Quetzal. Even though I've already got one, I definitely have to fight them when I can because they are worth it for loot. All the dragons in Like Nice Mob give humongous loot whenever they're defeated, in the form of precious crystals like prismarine crystals and even the occasional diamond. So they're worth a lot. Oh, I'm just striking so fast, I'm doing that. Case in point, you just dropped some good stuff. But yeah, you can see what I mean by kind of going with like the tier of the creature you're fighting. Its loot's kind of got to be better than like something else below it, right? Or at least should be. Bottle of Bay again. It's amazing how many of these I fought. They also give huge loot in other ways too, so yeah. Is there more than one here? If I'm fighting them back to back this time? This is a little ridiculous, even for me. Okay, that happened. Well, I got all the loot from those. Okay, that totally happened. Okay, and there's another Quetzal. Okay, is it the same one though? Was I just interrupted by Quetzal? Okay, sorry for the interruption here, but things happen sometimes, and they sometimes require me to just go with the flow. But yeah, as I was saying, wouldn't it be cool if the Warden gave just spectacular loot, like things better than beacons? I dropped on them on purpose so I could attack faster, because I was kind of floating away from them for a while there. Why is there a random sand? I'm pretty sure an Enderman has been around here because that is just a random piece of sand. This will keep my EMC flowing while I'm doing expensive stuff with Botania. Okay, that'll keep me fueled up for a while. Anyhow. I mean, it would be nice to see, can a Warden beat a Wither? Because probably yes. Just sheer stat-wise and how tall it is, I think it would reach to be able to actually be able to counterattack a Wither. So unless the Wither adjusts specifically for it, in terms of flight height, I'm pretty sure it would be whacked. So, how dramatic it will be, that will definitely be a big test as soon as the Warden's out. And it doesn't matter whether it's on Bedrock or Java, I will totally do that fight. And when that happens, it will be absurdly awesome. Did I really get, like, 3 between the two of them? Really? Okay. I didn't realize you could get more than one. Well, I do have an extra level of looting because of my lucky hat, so yeah. But anyhow, you get what I mean. It'll be interesting to test, like, just how worth it the Warden will be by how much withers it will take to beat that thing. For now, however, I'll be logging off because apparently I'm gonna be doing a whole Terrasteel run soon. That'll be something. Because I will totally need to do that to get everything going on for what I'm going to do for my big automation strategy, which will be really cool, and hopefully just get me an absolute boatload of mana so I can do pretty much everything I'd like to in Botania going forward. So that will be awesome. For now, this is Glitch Reaper. I'll be logging off for now. Hope to hear from you all later, and bye for now, everybody.